Does scripting really work? I'll admit it, I was also skeptical at first. Could writing my dreams in a journal actually help them come true? Honestly, it sounded a little bit too good to be true, but the idea kept showing up in my life and eventually curiosity won. Fast forward to today, and let me just say that scripting has changed everything for me. Not just in my personal life, but in my business too. If you're wondering whether scripting can actually help you grow your business and manifest that dream life you can't stop thinking about, here's my answer. Yes, but not in the way that you think. Hi creators, I'm Vanessa, a brand designer and spiritual seeker who turned a passion for inner growth into a thriving business. My journey began after a life-altering moment, the kind of event that shakes up everything and makes you rethink what's possible. I decided to trade the corporate grind for a life centered on alignment, purpose, and connection, and I haven't looked back since. These days, I help women like you, entrepreneurs, dreamers, and soul-driven creators build businesses that feel as good as they look on the outside. My work focuses on combining spiritual alignment with actionable strategies and practical systems that drive real results. Whether it's through intentional goal setting, mindset shifts, or transformative practices like scripting, I believe in helping you create a business that's authentic, abundant, and designed to help you reach that next level with clarity and purpose. How I discovered scripting. I first heard about scripting early in my manifestation journey when I started to explore manifestation and journaling. But at the time, I was spinning around in endless cycles of worry, which ended up leaving me physically and emotionally drained. So I had to make a decision. I could stay stuck in that endless loop, or I could channel all that mental energy into something that would actually support me. And that's really when I discovered visualization. I actually have a book around here somewhere. One second. Okay. It's right here. Funny enough, I started rereading it, even though I don't necessarily need this anymore. I don't need to do the practices in it as described, just because I kind of practice visualization in my daily life as is. But this is one of the books that I read. The very first book that I read that was about manifestation and visualization and kind of channeling your energy into what you want to create was called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And I remember I found that book when I was still in college. They had it at the library and I took it home and I read it. It's a very short book, kind of like this one. It's very short, very easy to read. And I read it in one sitting and I thought, this is amazing. How incredible is this? You can change the way you're thinking in order to change your reality. I started back then. I remember I was in class and I had a teacher that really didn't like me, and I started scripting that I had a great relationship with that teacher. And then I also started scripting the grades that I wanted and kind of how I wanted my exams to go. And I remember before one particular exam, I was scripting in the back of my notebook for that class that I know all the answers, that I am prepared, and then I'm ready to take this test and all the right answers will come to me. And funny enough, that semester that I read that book, I finished on the honors list. That's never happened to me before. I love learning, but I never really loved school. I had okay grades, but I was never on the honor list. But I just thought it was really funny because the only thing that I had changed, I wasn't studying more. I wasn't doing anything else other than scripting, adding that scripting routine to my day-to-day life. And yeah, I got on the honors list for that semester, funny enough. So that's when I actually first discovered scripting. But I'm sure this is something that you go through as well, especially on the spiritual journey. I feel like you learn things and then you put them in practice and they give you results and you are having such a good time. But then along the way, you start forgetting what you learned, and then you have to get reintroduced to that idea and you learn again and you start doing it again. So that's what happened with me and scripting. So over the years, every once in a while I would get into this habit of scripting and things would change and things got better, but then again along the way I would stop that habit and I would have to restart it again. When I really started getting back into scripting, 3 years ago, I was really focused on creating a morning routine that could sustain me and that could rejuvenate me and give me a good start each and every day. And the way I wanted to do it, I wanted to journal and I wanted to script and I wanted to meditate and I wanted to visualize and just do all of these things in the morning when I had my cup of coffee. But journaling didn't really stick with me. Journaling was a little bit difficult some days just because I wake up in the morning and I have brain fog and I don't know what to talk about or I don't know what to say and what to journal about. So I just started scripting my dream reality. This was also at a time where things were a little bit more unstable. So sitting there with my journal and scripting my ideal life just made me feel so much better, especially starting the day like that. It just made me feel so good. And so at first, I used scripting as a way to build a journaling habit. I stacked it with my morning ritual, a cup of coffee, my favorite candle, and a quiet moment to just really let myself dream on paper. What I didn't realize at the time was just how powerful this simple practice would become. Here's the thing you need to remember. When you get clear about what you want, it's only a matter of time before that thing materializes. And honestly, that's not arrogance, that's alignment. And scripting can take it to a whole new level. So when I first discovered scripting back in college, like I said, I went through periods of scripting and then kind of letting it go and then doing it again and then letting it go. In 2021, I decided to pick up this practice once again and really give it my best shot and integrate it into my daily life. Back then, I decided that I wanted to return to Bali where I had some of my most transformative moments. Travel was still complicated at the time, but I scripted it anyway. I saw the villa that I would stay in. I would imagine the sunsets that I would watch on the beach. I wrote about the bike rides that I would take on quiet roads. And I really wanted to put down on paper that experience that I wanted to have, especially living in Bali in a time where it was more quiet. I had a ton of inspiration because there were still a few people over there and I could see how they were living. And it was such a stark contrast to what was going on in Montreal at the time. So I knew that I really needed to return. And at the time, to be quite honest with you, it was quite extraordinary because the borders were closed. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I just told myself that I know it is going to happen. I'm not going to worry about the how. I'm just going to focus on the end result. And then the path forward would show its way to me. And I really believe that. And I started scripting every day religiously. I didn't skip a day. My imagination would build up all of the scenarios. I would see myself in the moment. I would feel the feelings. And at first, nothing happened. Nothing changed. The borders were still closed. I couldn't even get a visa to get in. The first maybe 20, 25 days, really nothing shifted at all. But I still persisted. I didn't give up. And guess what? A few months later, not only did I return to Bali, but I found myself on this tiny island in Indonesia, staying in a 4-bedroom beachfront villa. I spent my days snorkeling, journaling, and soaking in sunsets so stunning they felt surreal. It was exactly what I had written and more. But scripting didn't even stop there. I manifested 10K months in my business, dream clients who felt like soulmates, projects that light me up, my car, my current apartment, you name it. I scripted it and I had it. And to be quite frank, it's not even just about the things that you get when you script. It's about the energy of finally stepping into the life that you know you're meant for. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from this video is that you can use scripting in your business as well. If you're running any sort of business, scripting is like giving your vision a megaphone. It's not just about what you want to create. It's about anchoring into the energy of already having it. If you want to attract aligned clients, then write about what it feels like to be working with them. If you want consistent income, then script a day where money flows to you with ease. And beyond attracting aligned clients or manifesting a certain level of income, I want you to script having ease in your business, right? Having ease and being comfortable showing up in your business every single day. I always script, being comfortable on camera. That's something that I was struggling with. That's something that I'm getting over. And that's something that I see a lot of my clients struggle with, showing up and being on camera or finding time or being able to create that work-life balance in their business. The big portion of us still work a regular job when we first start our business. So it's like, how do you find the time and how do you find the energy to work on your business, to show up at your job, to take care of your family, to be there for your kids if you have some? And it's like, these are things that scripting can really help you with. It sounds crazy. It really sounds like it's out there, but I promise you that even 5 minutes, just taking 5 minutes to write down your ideal day, to write down what happens to you, to envision yourself living that life on paper, it really does change. It changes everything for you, because all of the sudden you'll start seeing opportunities. All of the sudden your mind is in tune to that frequency, and you'll start noticing these patterns, or you'll start noticing these things that you want. They'll show up in your daily life. That's when you know that you're on the right path. You'll suddenly look around and you'll see the opportunity, and you'll find that little time that you're craving, or you won't have a problem showing up on camera, or you won't even have to show up on camera as much anymore, because the way you do it is working so well that clients just come in because you've scripted it. You can script away your problems. You're taking what you see in your mind and you're bringing it into the 3D reality. You're doing that yourself. So all of the sudden, it's not just about, oh, I'm going to have aligned clients. When you start scripting and you start talking about them, you can really envision them. You can make it like a story. You can see that character, and you can see that character evolve, and you can see yourself evolve through the pages and through the scripts that you're creating for yourself. And very soon what you'll notice is that scripting doesn't just help you with your manifestations, it rewires your beliefs. When you constantly write about your dreams as if they're already true, your subconscious starts looking for ways to make it happen. And at that moment, that's when inspired ideas and aligned actions start flowing. So if you've never scripted, I'll tell you about how I script, but honestly, there's really not a set of rules when it comes to scripting. This is what works for me. You have to find what works for you. But for me, I have two ways of scripting. I either script like a full day visualization. So then I'll imagine what my morning will be like. I'll talk about my morning. I'll talk about what I'm going to do during the day. I'll talk about how I'm feeling, about the relationships that I have with my clients. Often in my scripts, I see myself creating videos or answering comments or looking at my analytics or whatever it may be. So I will write out that entire story. And other times, if I'm feeling uninspired and I really don't want to imagine a whole scenario and put down a whole entire scenario, what I'll do, I'll just write the one thing that I want and I'll just repeat it over and over again. If I want to get a new client application and I'm just focusing on that, I'll just be like, I am getting a new client application today. I'll write that same affirmation 8 times, I'm getting an aligned client today. Let me show you. This is last year. I wrote, when I edit the videos, I move with the certainty like I've done it a million times. I grasp new concepts fast and am able to build on them in an instant. The result is always better than what those around me expect. Plus, I like video editing. It's a lot like manifesting. I'm creating the vision that I have, putting together the narrative that I want. I'm having so much fun with it, like I was born to do it. Maybe this is the art form I was meant to be creative with. So this is something that I wrote last year, and funny enough, this is what I do every single week now. But I want to find a page where I just repeat the same thing. This is a page when I at the time when I was writing just the same sentence over and over again. So the ones that I was writing here is, I have enough time to get everything done, because every one of us entrepreneurs know how hard it is to get absolutely everything that you want done. I have enough time to work on Zen daily. I book 3 appointments daily. I get new clients every single day. So I mostly write everything in a narrative format, but sometimes I'll write them as just the one affirmation. I'll just repeat it over and over and over again. So this one is 2023. This is from 2024. This is the one that I started this year, 2025. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, the way I script, I think it's really important. Sometimes when I see people talking about scripting, there's always some comments asking whether it would work on the computer as well if you type it instead of writing it down. And I think that yes, it does. I guess that's why I don't have it in these journals, because most of the time when I'm repeating the same one over and over again, I usually just type it on the computer. I have an app on my laptop. But yes, I do believe that even if you type it on the computer, it does work. It works according to your beliefs. So if you believe it will work, I really do believe that it will work for you too. But That being said, I still think that writing it down with your hand and having that mind-body connection, I think it is a little bit more powerful. Plus, it's always fun to look at what you created and to look at your journals and be able to see the progress that you've made and have it all in writing, because I do feel like when you put it on the computer, I don't know, for me at least, I like to create a separation between my work and my life outside of work. So that's why I prefer writing it down in a notebook. But again, I don't think there's any harm in doing it on the computer. So if you're someone that doesn't enjoy handwriting, then you can definitely just write it in your notes app or write it on a computer. But the idea of scripting is just, it's also to look at it as your future self. Talk about it from the perspective of your future self. Don't say things like, I will have, right? You have to say, I have. Because again, that's when you're assuming that identity. Because I've learned that when you think that something will happen and you're constantly saying will or can or hope, not that it pushes the manifestation away, but it keeps it at a distance, because it's like now you're affirming that sometime in the future it will be yours. When will you get to that future? If you're constantly telling yourself that it's in the future, that future will keep moving the more you move through time. So I hope it makes sense there, but you want to assume it in the here and now so that it can happen for you right now, right? Even if it's technically in the future, though, most likely it won't manifest absolutely instantly. But I've had really good results. For me, like I said, now that I've built the habit and I've built the muscle, I also believe in myself a lot more. So that's why my scripting comes true a lot faster than when I first began. But now I can script something on Friday, and then by Monday, that thing will come closer in alignment with my life. Once again, you can do full day visualization where you write about your ideal day in detail, from your morning coffee to the emails that you send to the clients you connect with. And focused repetition. When you're locked into a specific goal, you can rewrite the same desire over and over again every single day until that desire becomes manifest. Don't be scared if the results happen almost instantly, within a few days. Other times it can take weeks and months. But the most important thing is that the timeline doesn't matter, because now you know that it's on its way. It's almost like placing an order, right? You know it's done and it's coming, it's on its way, and you don't really have to worry about it. You've already done it. That's how I view scripting. Once I write it down, I know that it's mine. So like I said, just a few tips to keep in mind. Don't use words like can, will, hope. Use present tense. Be super specific, but also be excited. Be excited about what's to come and believe in yourself. You can try just to see if it works. Maybe start with something that's smaller, something like a cup of coffee or something like that, like a free cup of coffee, whatever it may be. Or maybe, not getting interrupted for the first half of the day. Whatever it may be, start with something small, and then what you'll notice is that it does start to happen in your life. And the more it happens in your life, the more you start believing that it works. And the more you start believing that it works, the faster it happens for you. It really is quite magical. I would really suggest that you stay consistent as much as you can. Scripting works best, in my experience, when it's built into a regular habit. And even if it's just a few minutes a day, the momentum really does keep building. So then for those days where you really don't feel inspired, just write your goal like an affirmation. Just write it a couple of times, fill a whole page, and then move on with it. You don't have to even sit there and visualize and feel good and whatever. Just write it down. Know that you placed your order, you've done your duty, and it will come to you. The next thing is that you really need to follow your intuition. I am not someone that believes that manifestation can happen out of thin air, and maybe that's why it doesn't happen for me. No, but what I mean is that you have to back your intention with aligned action. So follow your intuition, look around you. When you feel a nudge to do something, you have to go ahead and do it. Scripting opens the path for you, but it is up to you to start walking down that path. Manifestation is never passive. You'll know when it's the right time to take action, and in those moments, you'll have to trust yourself and move forward. And another thing that I want you to keep in mind is that when you're in a good state, I find that scripting works better because you're happy and you're more open to things changing. But I'll have to say, even if you're not feeling great, even if you're depressed or you're stressed and you're worried and you're tired, even if you script in those moments, it will still work. It really will still work. And at the very least, I find that sometimes I am not in a good mental state. I'm tired, I'm feeling overwhelmed. And scripting just by itself puts me in so much of a better headspace. Talking about what your day would be like when you're not feeling the way you're feeling right now, it distracts you in a good way, because it distracts and kind of fixes the problem a little bit, and it makes you feel a little bit better. So I really do recommend it, just as another healing modality when you're feeling stressed. But in general, if you're in a good state, you can see results much, much faster. And one last thing before I let you go, don't give up the moment things start working. I've been guilty of this, and this is why I stopped and restarted scripting so many times. It's like things start to get good, you're feeling so happy, you see yourself living your dream life, and you're thinking, I don't need this anymore, I can skip it today. And the moment you start skipping it, you're losing that habit, and things do start to kind of go back to how they were. I wouldn't say that you lose what you gained. That's not what I'm trying to say, but maybe the worry will come back, or maybe the stress will come back. So I would say, as much as you can, build it into a sustainable habit. You don't have to do it every single day of your life, but as much as you can. And honestly, scripting is really fun. It's a fun habit to have. You can really picture anything. I've manifested so many things in my business. I've even manifested tools, like sometimes I would think of a tool that I think I need in my business that would make my life so much easier. And I'm like, how has no one thought of this? And then, a day or two later, that exact tool, I find it somewhere, was invented. The algorithm, the universe algorithm just heard me and then showed it to me in my real life. So scripting is really fun. Use it in your business. That's the point that I'm trying to make you understand. It's not just for manifesting your dream life. You can also use it in your business. You can use it to grow your client base. You can use it to attract better clients, to attract aligned clients. You can use it to create retreats. You can use it to really whatever you want in your life and business. I know that for us, spirituality is so intertwined with what we do in our businesses, and this is another reason why you should incorporate the spiritual habit into your business. Scripting work, for me, it's been a lifeline. It's really not just a habit, it's a way of life. And if you're not scripting yet, 2025 is the perfect time for you to start scripting for your personal life as well as for your business. Remember that you're a creator, so dream big, write it down, and watch what happens. Thank you, girls, for watching this video till the end. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel so that I know to create more. I'm changing up a little bit of the format of my videos, so I really hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!